Hello, everybody. Along our rewilding journey, most of us start to realize how much our mind is basically hypnotized and running on autopilot. It's something that our culture does to us. And if we're not aware of it, it can take over our lives in some major ways. Today, I'd like to share a tool that is really powerful and can really help you to reclaim a lot of your mind. I call this tool conscious association. Now, this is one of those tools that's already running in the background in most of our lives. It just would be called unconscious association. Okay, here's a brief example. You meet a person, they're named Frederico, no offense if your name is a Frederico, and you have this really bad experience with them. And it sort of creates an association with that name, Frederico. The next time you meet another Frederico, that Frederico might be the nicest person in the world, but you've already associated something with that name, and so you might not give them the same chance at becoming your friend as you would have if you had never met that initial Frederico. Different person, but you've created an association just with one aspect of that person. This is what advertisers use to try to get us to buy products. So if you associate a product, let's say a car that you see, with being wealthy or attractive or other people liking you or being really adventurous, then when you go and then you see that Jeep at the store and you have that association with that advertisement that said, wow, the person driving the Jeep, they had a really adventurous life and my life's kind of boring, then there's that unconscious association. If you buy that Jeep, then your life is going to get more exciting and adventurous. Probably not true, but that association is there working in the background. Now, if we want to claim this tool for ourselves, we just have to make it conscious association. When we do this, we can start using this tool to really affect and change things in our life. Today, from the title you saw, this is about junk food. A lot of us have junk food addictions. We see that candy bar or that marshmallow or that pop or energy drink, whatever it is, and it just draws us in. Probably we've created associations in the past that give us a positive feeling about that. And it's entered into an addictive state where we don't really have a lot of choice as to whether we pick that up. We're drawn to it and we almost can't help eating it. Now, by using conscious association, we can make that junk food into something that is completely distasteful to us. And here's how you do it. I know that this candy bar really draws me in. I'm going to set it on the table. Next to it, I'm going to put a healthy choice, like an apple. Now, I'm going to look at that candy bar and I'm going to start to create consciously some associations with it. And what I want to do is really gross myself out. This is going to be very personal for you, so you have to choose. I'll just give some examples here. You might envision the factory where it's going through the machines and grease from the factory kind of getting into the candy bar, and the person that's there doing the quality check as the first layer of the candy bar is put down, their mask is fallen down and they sneeze and snot goes into it. And then some bugs crawl in as it goes along and get smushed under the layer of chocolate. And they try to get out for a while, but then they drown down there and they poop. Bug poop slimes out underneath the chocolate. these are, we'd like to think that the candy bar factory is probably kept pretty clean, but the fact is, things happen. And although you're creating a fantasy of associations, some of these things might very well be true. And by keeping that memory and trying to make your fantasy something that you realize could be realistic, then you can start to convince yourself that that candy bar is really filled with snot and bug poop and grease from the factory, all kinds of stuff that is not good. Truth is, it's filled with a lot of stuff that's not good. so, so you're not really lying to yourself. But now you've started to create an association, a conscious association of a lot of gross stuff that's connected up with that candy bar. Look over at the apple. Think of it out in a pristine field surrounded by some other beautiful apple trees, and imagine the wind and the fresh rains going over it, and the sunlight in the soil, and all these things combining to make this incredible fruit that's filled with enzymes and nutrition, creating a very positive association. If you start to do this, you can literally make it so that when you look at the junk food, it will gross you out. The first time I encountered this is when, in my early kind of teen years, I went and I worked at a bakery. And I worked at that bakery for about 2 hours. I came in really, really early. And the guy was teaching me how to make the dough, the basic dough for the pastries. And at that point in my life, I loved donuts with gooey frosting, and oh, they were so good. And I watched it going, and I thought it was supposed to be kind of a white vanilla pastry dough. And as I watched, this black swirl started going through it. And I said, "Is this chocolate or fudge?" And he said, "No, that's grease from the machine. There's always some of that gets in there." He said, "Just ignore it." That's about when I quit that job. And that is the reality of a lot of our processed food. So to get yourself off of junk food, we have these two choices. We can sit here and we can use our willpower and fight, fight, fight. You may or may not win that battle. But if you use this tool of conscious association and you start noticing whenever something has a craving for you, you're walking down through the grocery store, you see that piece of junk food that draws you in, stop. This is your chance. Use conscious association. Really gross yourself out about that drink or that candy bar or that food. Take the time to gross yourself out about it, and then you should find it pretty easy to pass it by. Next time, notice if you have the same draw towards it. If you do, repeat the conscious association. Do that a few times, and you're really going to be able to look at that thing and have a repulsion towards it. Reverse engineer it for broccoli, for whatever the healthy things are that you fill your diet with. Just think about how positive those things are. And that's actually, I believe our science will be telling us more and more, that's actually going to make it so that when you eat this, that broccoli that you've been creating a positive association with, it's going to make it so that it actually benefits your body. If nothing else, it's going to relax you and put you into a state of happiness and anti-stress because you're eating something that you have these positive associations with. And that's good for your body right there. This is a powerful tool. You can use it for a lot of things. If you extrapolate, I won't go into all the uses that I can think of, but if you extrapolate, this tool can be used for many, many things in your life to switch what you like and what you don't like. Instead of going through life saying, "Oh, I can't help it, I'm just addicted to pop," or "I'm just addicted to coffee," or "I can't stop myself from smoking pot," or playing video games, or whatever it is that you don't want to be doing. Using this tool, if you start thinking creatively, you can use this tool to make yourself like or dislike almost anything. And when you have control over what you like and dislike, you're taking back a lot of the power in your life. It can make an amazing difference. Please share your stories, your thoughts. If you've used conscious association before, if you know that unconscious association is working powerfully in your life, tell us all of your experiences, share your insight, share your wisdom. I'll look forward to talking with you in the comments below. Thanks for watching.